Yeah, yeah, like that. Tell the people that phony water is back. Like that. Tell the people that phony water is back. Like that.
You are tuned into the W Show on Sideline Sports Talk Network and 100.1 FM, Kansas City. Live from Radio Row in San Francisco, California. Brought to you by Gates Barbecue, the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, Dillard Zona Rosa, the Soul of Santa, Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services, and Wood Nissan.
All right, back here live from Radio Row in San Francisco. We appreciate you guys sticking with us. We have a friend of the show, we can say. Indeed. He's been on with us pretty much every year that we've been doing Radio Row. Mr. Lights Out himself, Sean Merriman. What's up, man?
What's up, my man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Appreciate you giving us some time today.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, now, what brings you to Radio Row this year?
You know, it's I was walking up, and I was like, it's my 15th. Like, I've been here for a long time.
Yeah.
Back when it was only like traditional media, the big networks, it was no podcasts, it was nothing. Now it's everything.
Yeah.
So now it's pretty cool. And then coming in and seeing some of the players I played against, played with, and then some of the young cats that I haven't got a chance to meet yet.
Right.
And they'll walk up to me like, man, I used to watch it when I was like 10. I'm like, I'm old as hell. Crazy. But no, it's been cool.
Now, you know, football season is basically September through now February. Do you feel that off-season, in-season switch like you used to?
No, not really, because it's changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no real off-season.
Okay.
It really isn't, you know, especially for the players, because you'll get like a good month off where you don't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
But more than likely, you got some kind of injury, something after the season. So you got to get back into some kind of physical therapy or somewhere.
Yeah.
And then you got your all-season workouts, your OTAs. I mean, it just really is not a real off-season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you still working in the MMA realm? Yeah. And so how's that going? Because I know you still pretty much train for that every day, huh?
Yeah, I still get after. I try to anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lights Out Extreme Fighting. So we just signed a deal with ESPN Latin America.
Got you.
Back in December, and it's cool because UFC went to Paramount on a 7-year deal, and then there was kind of a vacant, you know, some vacant spots on ESPN. They were like, yeah, let me get Lights Out up in there.
Yeah.
So that's been cool because, you know, in the States, football always going to be king. You know. But when you get outside the States, it's two things: it's soccer and it's fighting.
Fighting, yeah.
You know, and then especially in the Latin American countries, it's like it's crazy how the UFC has grown worldly. But now you need more fighters to have opportunities to get to the UFC. So they typically come fight for us.
And it's crazy because every time I see like a fight online, whether it be like in a grocery store or in Central Park, I always wait to see your face pop up in the thing, like sign them up. I always do that.
Dude, it's crazy because people were saying that as I'm walking up, and there was like this lady, she had been in her 60s, came and said sign them up. I'm like, what's going on? You know, so yeah, everybody watched those videos.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I can figure out why you have the name Lights Out, but who came up with that name for you?
So my sophomore year when I knocked out four kids in the game, I had like 20 students come around to me and say, man, you knocked those kids lights out. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Lights out.
Yeah.
And not knowing that was going to stick, you know, this before social media. So I got to school on Monday, and I got my backpack on. I got my books in my hands. Like, man, good game, Lights. I said, hold on, what?
Yeah.
So that it kind of caught on. I went home and I asked my mom to let me get this that I have now, this Lights Out, light switch on my right arm. And she looked at me and was like, boy, get the hell out the room. So every day for 2 weeks, I was bugging her. Finally, she let me get this Lights Out tattoo, and this became, you know, really a thing.
Lights Out.
Yeah, definitely. And how's because I want to talk about the game coming up. Seattle it seems to be the consensus with everybody on Radio Row this year. Who you thinking about on Sunday?
Well, you know, it's the NFL. Anybody got a shot. You know, like I think it's easier for most people to say, you know, Seattle's the better team. They should win. The truth of the matter is, if Mike Vrabel will put together a game plan and come there and somehow get these guys like fired up before the game, and they come out a different team they came out the last few weeks, they can win. You know, having a gritty game, running the ball, running the clock out, staying. You know, just it has to be one of those mistake-free games for them to win. in my opinion, like Seattle can make a few mistakes and still win the game because they can score.
Mhm.
And I just don't think the Patriots can match what they can do.
Definitely.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because the Patriots came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, you talk about Mike Vrabel. He took a team that had won 4 games last year, and
Right.
now they're in the Super Bowl. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, first of all, I'm always kind of pushing for former players to be coaches.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying because you play the game you're gonna be a great coach, but you have some of these guys like Vrabel. He was smart as hell when we played against him, and I didn't like him.
Yeah.
I did not like Mike, man, because he was just tough. He was nasty, but he was very, very. He just knew the game. So when you have those former players as coaches now, they come in the locker room with this mentality of toughness, understanding how to break down film, having a relationship, because that's another thing that people overlook, having a relationship with you guys, because if your players trust you, they'll run through a wall for you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I had coaches, man, I'm like, all right, which wall? Where you want me to run through? So when you have players like that, then you're going to win a lot of games, and that's what Mike has been able to do.
Yeah, definitely.
What's your thoughts on this season in general? Because I feel like a lot of the teams that we saw in the playoffs, we didn't see that coming. It wasn't on our bingo board just based off of the way the playoffs played out over the past couple of years.
This is the wildest season because there was no clear-cut winner nowhere.
Yeah.
Right.
You look at the first 5 or 6 weeks of the season, you're like, oh, the Chargers going to the Super Bowl, right? Then they get decimated with injuries. They get beat up and lose a lot of guys. Then you look around, well, KC used to be the automatic that was going to be at the finish line at the end. They're not here.
Yeah.
Right. Joe Burrow, he's not here. No Josh Allen. And so you look around like, man, what happened? But I think this is a good thing, and it's good for the NFL.
Yeah.
To put spotlight on other teams, other franchises, other players, instead of always talking about the same 10 guys every single year. So I think this is actually really, really good for the NFL.
Yeah.
And if you look at the AFC West, you mentioned the Chargers. The Raiders are still kind of below the median line. But look at the AFC West. What do you see? Where do you see the AFC West going?
Yeah, no, they below the below.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But what happens over time in these divisions, you have somebody that's dominated for so long. Take the Chiefs, dominate for so long. And the Chiefs aren't as bad as people make them to be. But they're not what they always were.
Yeah.
Right. And what happens over time is other teams in the division get better.
Right.
And I'm speaking from experience. We used to run through the Raiders when I was there. It was like I look at that. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get 2 sacks this week. It was one of those. And now my last year, the Raiders beat us.
Yeah.
They started getting top draft picks. New coaches came in, new front office,
Right.
and they just started to get better.
Yeah.
And that's what happened this year with most divisions. I mean, the Patriots had their several years where they were down.
Right.
And they were used to dominating for almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
And so other teams in that division just start. Buffalo over time got better. Now it looked like the Patriots got back to where they were, but other teams in divisions just get better.
Yeah. And speaking about getting better, the game is pretty much the same when it comes to edge rushers and the linebackers. Are you one of those guys that in the off season, are you working with younger guys or working with different guys, whether they, hand techniques or different, rushing techniques?
Yeah, this offseason I went Max Crosby, Von Miller, and Cam Jordan have the sack summit every year in Vegas.
Gotcha.
And I couldn't go the last couple of years. I was traveling, but I went this year and worked with a lot of the younger NFL guys. And it was cool, man, because I'm in the fight business. I'm in board meetings and stuff, and sometimes I wish I can yell and then do some of the things I want to do. It's a different kind of atmosphere. So getting an opportunity to go back out there and just work and see how much the game has changed.
Yeah.
Like they share a lot of information between all pass rushers. They might call, Vaughn will call Max and be like, hey, what'd you see out of that tackle when you played? Back when I played, we wasn't telling nobody
at
nothing.
all.
Really.
Yeah. No. It's no friends. No friends in the industry.
But and I'm not saying that's a bad. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. The culture is different, and their knowledge of sharing of how they do things to get better. It was really cool to be out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you thought about getting into coaching?
It's just the time, man.
Yeah.
Like I got too much going on where I would love to go out there and help out. When guys, I go out there in training camp for the Chargers and I work with, some of the younger guys when they call and ask or anywhere. But them long hours, dude. Like I didn't realize, like, as a player, we thought our days were long, but the coaches there before,
right,
and way after,
right.
And I'm like, it's not for me.
Yeah,
not for me.
So you, even though you're not in the coaching, but like within the facility and within just the NFL in general, how many guys do call you? Do you see anybody that had your work ethic? Because you're a dog. Yeah. Like, do you see anybody that has your work ethic?
For sure. It's and guys call. They call, text all the time, and they'll ask me, "Did you see the game?" And I was like, "Yeah, I watched it. What'd you think?" I was like, "On what play?"
Right.
How you play as a whole, or how He said, and some of them will walk me through the certain plays. Like if you got it, and they'll send me clips.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And like, what do you see? What happened here? And I'll talk them through it. So, I enjoy that part of it. I just think that when you played at a certain level and you've been to reach a point, you got to pass it down.
Yeah.
You got to pass it down, man, because that's your way of really giving back to the game.
Yeah.
We appreciate you giving us some time, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Yep. That's Sean Merriman. We'll be back here live from Radio Row with more guests.
The views and opinions expressed on the W Radio Show by the hosts, co-hosts, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundations, or affiliates.